they committed?
Trump?
Yeah, the ones in the Oval Office. What crimes have those people committed?
You want to look it up on Wikipedia? There's like a list.
Well, you made the sign, so I'm asking you.
It's true. I'm at a protest, though.
Yeah.
I don't need to know anything. I'm here for my community.
Okay, so you make a sign about people being criminals, but you don't know what you made it for?
All right, so
I make a sign supporting my community and the people in it.
Yeah.
And I'm not ashamed.
I know. You shouldn't be ashamed of your sign. I'm just asking what crimes they have committed.
I don't have to list them to you.
Might I?
You can simply look it up.
Have you done research?
It's all over the media.
Yeah, so I was just asking him, he's holding the sign, if he could just tell me what crimes people in the Oval Office have committed. You're holding it, so I thought maybe you could give it to me quickly.
I'm good.
What do you make of the fact that he was democratically elected, even won the popular vote? How does that make him a king?
It doesn't make him a king. It makes him a president, not a king.
Well, this is called No Kings. So what does that mean to you?
It means we got to get rid of him. He's not a king. It's a democratic process, and we've gone that route with him. Now he's acted like a king.
Can you give me a specific example?
Specific example? Well, there's a million of them all put together. There's no one example. It's
Just one or two?
It's more than one or two.
No, can you give me one or two examples?
Not off the top of my head. I mean, I can, I guess. I'm just in a loss of thought here on there's a lot of things.
Okay.
I can't really.
Okay, well, thank you.
so what brings you out today?
No King's Day.
And why specifically are you out supporting No King's Day?
I think protest is important.
Why are you protesting?
How much time do you have?
A couple minutes. And what's the main reason you're out here protesting President Trump?
I don't agree with a lot of the decisions that are being made.
Is there any decision in particular you disagree with?
Okay, so I would start with, well, I don't even think it's appropriate for me to have this interview.
Okay. Enough of Democrats who don't know what they're talking about and they only parrot the things that they hear on mainstream media, okay? But if you're watching, you're not like them. You're someone who thinks for yourself. And we're going to be continuing from where we left off last night. Last night, we had a spirited conversation around the Sonny Hostin situation, and it just got worse, okay? Now, we were trying to be very charitable with her and try to kind of make excuses. And hey, we had some nice things to say. Hey, if you have a son that's being detained by the police and he calls, you come running, okay? That's a sign of good parenting. But we're going to read this article and we're going to watch the video and you guys let me know what you think because I think she's not looking good right now based on some of the things that the article will be pointing out. Okay, Hickox, great to see you in the chat. And Gardening, great to see you in the chat. Yes. So we're going to be, look, we have several things to go over within the hour. So stick with me and let's know what you think of the stories that we're going to be covering. Now, let's just dive in, okay? Morning, Hickox. Hi, Gardening. And if you're watching, feel free to jump into the chat. Now, this article from PJ Media says Sonny Hostin blasted privilege for years. She talked about white privilege, okay? She pontificated and preached at us about how white privilege was bad and evil, and she would have tears in her eyes recalling how she struggled as a brown-skinned person in America, even though she's a multi-millionaire. She struggled, and she said that white privilege was bad and evil. But now she got caught using her own privilege. Now, let's watch the video first, and then we're going to go through the article, okay? So we didn't see this angle of the body cam. we didn't see it. Now, a few of the things that are going to be said, we heard before, but I heard somewhere that that this video from TMZ was unredacted. But let's listen, and then if most of it is what we heard yesterday, we'll dive into the article because it gives us updates on the court hearing, what the judge said, and there was this big question about whether there were signs. Were there signs? Did he see that there was a no trespassing sign, a gigantic neon sign that said no trespassing, and yet a Harvard graduate couldn't read? So the article covers the details of that claim. Hey, I just walked in. Intergalactic Wrangler, good to see you in the chat. All right, so let's watch the video together, and then you guys let me know. Now, we've seen some of this before, but we haven't seen this one. So this angle is totally different. So let's watch this. Let me see. I gotta refresh this. Press play. All right, it's feeding from X or something. Jeez, I hate it when tech does this. All right, hold on. I'm going to continue watching on X. I'm going to open it on X and I'll play it from here. Okay, good. It's playing on X. Hold on. I'm going to scoot over to X. Sorry, guys, for the technical snafu. Okay, so we're just gonna play it on X. All right, so.
Pleasure.
How are you? This is my son.
Hi. What's going on?
He was walking along the tracks.
Okay. On a run, on a walk, and the gate was open. I was like, oh. Yeah. I see.
Gate was open.
475.
On the phone. He's on the phone with me. Actually.
Okay.
I'm a former federal prosecutor. He knows he's a Harvard grad who teaches 4th grade geometry to South Bronx kids.
Oh,
He's not a kid who's ever in trouble. It's an innocent mistake. I understand you have to give a violation, but it's something.
Where were you? Where'd you go? You were like over here. So yeah, there's like an open gate. I think I was walking over there, and there was some. I was about to show
we were
them.
talking on the phone. I had a big interview today. We're talking about it.
You guys, the sergeant say he called up, back up, or?
Well, we just heard what was going on, so we're like, oh, we were up by Scarsdale actually, and we're like, yeah, we'll drive by, we'll see what's happening.
Seems like overkill. Is it like, oh, this is some entertaining stuff happening? Let me go check it out.
We are entertained.
They're not always like you, so sometimes the situations go a little the other way. They're not so compliant like you are, so it's better to be safe and sorry.
Again, we commend him for being compliant, okay? And I also want to commend him for not throwing a fit. You know those videos, and we're going to watch a body cam video that has been making the rounds, okay? And you guys, I think it's going to be entertaining. So he didn't throw a fit like the guy in the next body cam video we're going to be watching. That guy lost his mind. Immediately the police showed up. So I'm going to have to give him credit for that. But we're going to watch this, then read the article to find out what the judge said and what exactly the court case looks like. So this happened on June the 16th. So it's not like it happened a couple of days back. This was June the 16th. And usually it takes a while for these body cam videos to process and to be released. Hickox says, even if there isn't a sign, the railroad still have signs saying that it belongs to them or authorized personnel. Look, yeah, like the excuses that are being made don't make any sense. And if he lives in the area, he should know that those parts of that area is off limits. So unless he's new to the area, which it doesn't seem like he is. All right, so there's a lot of standing around and looking and talking and writing. So let's read the article, okay? Let's just read the article. So Link Lauren says, my reporting was correct. We now have the body cam footage of Sonny Hostin. She immediately tries to leverage her status to get her son out of trouble and mentioned he's a Harvard graduate. What kind of Harvard graduate can't read no trespassing signs? Okay. So, Sonny Hostin is getting eviscerated, okay? She is getting absolutely eviscerated in the media. So let's read the article. Sonny Hostin has built a nice little side career out of diagnosing other people's privilege. So when police caught her 24-year-old son wandering around active Metro North Railroad tracks in New Rochelle last month, you'd think the View co-host and former federal prosecutor would have let the process play out because she's so anti-privilege. Instead, body cam footage shows her doing exactly the thing she spent years telling America is a problem when white people do it. Let's not do the other people thing. White people. Court records and body cam footage make it clear that Hostin's son, Gabriel, was in violation of posted no trespassing signs along the tracks. Okay, so look, in violation of posted no trespassing signs along the tracks. Okay, so Intergalactic, you said ignorance of the law is no excuse, but there were posted no trespassing signs. This is a Harvard graduate who teaches other kids. Is he saying he can't read? Is he a Harvard graduate who can't read? Let's keep going. Along the tracks near 24 Station Plaza on June 16th. He told officers he'd been out for a run and slipped through a gate. Okay, like the old thing where it said, okay, no, that's a dirty joke. I'm not going there. I'm not going there, sorry. He told officers he'd been out for a run and slipped through a gate near the tracks that he found standing open. His mother was on the phone with him during the stop, and she wasted no time trying to use her privilege to get him off the hook. We saw that last night. I'm a former federal prosecutor, Sonny Hostin told the officers, and then she said it again and again for good measure. She also made sure they knew she co-hosts The View, that her son has no criminal record, that he's a Harvard graduate, and that he spends his time teaching 4th grade geometry to kids in the South Bronx. It was an innocent mistake, she insisted, and her son simply isn't the type who gets into trouble. The officers were not moved enough to let it go entirely. Gabriel was issued a citation for criminal trespass, an offense that officers noted could have resulted in his arrest rather than a ticket. They explained his position on the tracks technically qualified as an arrestable offense, but they downgraded the charge because he'd been in the right of way rather than the more dangerous area between the rails. His cooperation and clean record helped too. Gabriel is due back in court in New Rochelle on July 31st, and it appears Mommy is representing him. All right, now here's what makes this so rich. In 2024, Hostin accused WNBA star Caitlin Clark of benefiting from privilege, telling viewers, I do think that there is a thing called pretty privilege. There is a thing called white privilege. There's a thing called tall privilege. And so, guys, I'm 6'5", so I have tall privilege, according to Sonny Hostin. Anyone who has anything she doesn't have is privileged. Meanwhile, she's a multi-millionaire. And we have to acknowledge that. And so part of it is about race. There we go again. Because if you think about the Brittany Grinders of this world, why did she have to go play in Russia? Because she sucked, because she essentially had lost her edge. She had to go play in Russia. That's what even male basketballers do it. When they begin to lose their edge, they go to smaller leagues in other countries. That's what they do. So she turns this into a privileged conversation because they wouldn't pay her. Back in 2019, during the college admissions scandal, Hostin was furious that Felicity Huffman asked a judge for leniency, saying she had wealth, privilege, and a platform, and she didn't use it appropriately. I would like to see if there's a link for that that story. I'm just curious. I want to see if there's a link for that. Yeah, so there's a link to that story here. So maybe we'll take a look at that story with Sonny Hostin accusing Caitlin Clark of privilege. I've been very vocal about the way the WNBA has treated Caitlin Clark. And, let's take a look at that side journey for a bit. It's funny how privilege only looks ugly when someone else is holding it, isn't it? The moment her own son needs a break, Hostin reached straight for the very cocktail of advantages she's blasted others for using. She wants you to believe Caitlin Clark benefits from being pretty, white, and tall. She wants you to notice when Felicity Huffman's money buys her a lighter sentence. She just doesn't want you noticing when she plays the "Do you know who I am" card to get her son out of trouble. Do you like this article, guys? I think I like the article. Yesterday we did our best to try to be fair we did our best to try to be fair to Sonny Hostin, Now, let's see, will this video play? Sorry, there's a video attached to the link. All right, so I'm going to wait until an ad play. So let me see. Says his posture and attitude shows a lot that curiosity got the best of him, but that still doesn't alleviate the fact that he entered a restricted area. True, he showed that he is nervous but did not escalate. Also, he wasn't trying to get out of the situation. He owned it by cooperating. Again, we've said that her son essentially behaved properly. Like we've said as much. We're just pointing out okay, so let's watch the video. Okay, I don't want to keep talking.
There's a thing called pretty privilege. There is a thing called white privilege. There is a thing called tall privilege. And we have to acknowledge that. And so the part of it is about race, because if you think about the Brittany Grinders of the world, why did she have to go to play in Russia?
Because they wouldn't pay her.
Because they wouldn't pay her.
Because they wouldn't pay her. Not because she was black, but because they didn't believe in the WNBA.
This is part of my point. So now, Caitlin Clark is bringing this money, these sponsorships, we hope, into the league, and other players will benefit from it. But
all right, so that is Sonny Hostin, playing her grift. Okay, so again, back to what we've said already. Okay, her son cooperated with law enforcement, commendable, and we try to be fair. Okay, we try to be fair. We want to call out hypocrisy when we see it, but we also want to say, hey, kudos when someone behaves the right way. Now, part of what the hypocrisy we're seeing, especially coming from the left, is doing is that it's costing them allies. For example, you have Stephen A. Smith. Okay, Stephen A. Smith is calling out the thing that we've been calling out for a long time, the double standards that the Democrats have shown blatantly. All right, so here he is talking about how the left celebrated ICE under Obama, and then suddenly, because an election brought in a new president, ICE suddenly became evil. So let's listen to him.
Yeah, you're talking about the border. Yeah, the border needed to be closed, but that was because Biden opened it. If Biden hadn't opened it and followed Obama, who deported more people than Trump did, in Obama's term in office, over 3.1 million people were deported. How come you didn't follow that, Joe Biden? How come you didn't follow that, Democrats? How come it was okay to celebrate ICE at that particular time when when Obama was in office, and you had networks literally traveling with ICE to show you the marvelous work that they were doing, but suddenly Trump is doing it, and now it's a pariah, and ICE needs to go, and it needs to be completely banned. Why are sanctuary cities existing? Why is that? Why do you get to, implement laws that could get you to ignore federal laws? How is that? How does that benefit our country? I'm saying to ask ourselves these questions. Yeah, you're talking about the border. Yeah, the border.
Yeah, so Deuce, good to see you in the chat, Deuce. And Deuce says Democrats are hypocrites. Now, last week, we had the governor of New York, Kathy Hochul, essentially telling ICE that they are not welcome and telling them that they would not be providing accommodations for the detainees in New York. And here's Tom Homan's response to her.
Tell me you're supporting the immigrant community because you're going to force us for more collateral arrest, which I certainly have no problem with. And second of all, part of her thing she signed, we can no longer rent beds from sheriffs to hold illegal aliens, which means every illegal alien we arrest in New York, we're going to simply fly out of state. How does that benefit the immigrant community? I'm perfectly fine with it, but don't say you're doing this to protect the immigrant community because, Griff, you've been on a lot of operations. The immigrant community are victimized by criminal illegal aliens more than anybody.
Now, Kathy Hochul isn't letting ICE to rent beds to detain the immigrants within New York. Now, so here's how this is going to escalate. And you guys correct me if my math is wrong or if my projection is wrong. When Tom Homan was newly tapped for border czar, he reached out to most of these mayors and governors and said, hey, we're going to need you to cooperate with us because we have a lot of work to do. Most of them from blue states and cities said, no, we're not cooperating with you. This was before he took office. They already told him he wasn't going to get any cooperation from them. And I said on one of my videos, very old video, that this was going to create problems because it was going to force them to go into the communities and then they would meet collateral it was essentially going to be collateral because people who were targeted would essentially be staying with other immigrants who might happen to be out of status or illegal, but non-violent and not criminals. Okay, ICE's job is to detain and deport both the ones who have committed crimes and the ones who haven't committed crimes. And immediately that happens where the non-violent or non-criminal ones are arrested, the Democrats have the fuel to jump up and say, hey, look, they're being racist. They're disappearing brown-skinned people. That's exactly what they're doing. They're setting it up for that. And then guess what Kathy Hochul is doing right now? Okay, if an immigrant is detained and can't stay in state, they're going to immediately fly them out to another facility in a different state. Their relatives who are in New York are going to start protesting. Hey, they took my cousin, they took my sister, they took my son, they took my this or the other out of state. These people are evil. How can I find them? I don't know where they are. Oh no. That's exactly the optics the Democrats are banking on. And the leftists who just refuse to activate a single brain cell to think this entire thing through are going to jump into the streets and begin to protest. They're going to protest the exact problem that their elected officials created so that they could protest. And it's so frustrating to watch this insanity. Hickox says, you hit dead on. And the part that frustrates me, guys, is that I am sitting here, I am miles away from you guys, and I can see it. I can see where this is going. And I'm wondering, why can't these people who live right in those neighborhoods but vote blue no matter who, why can't they see it? So that is my take on that. Now, I promised you a treat. All right, I promised you a treat. I heard that this was funny. I saw this making the rounds over the weekend, okay? And I just said, okay, I don't want to touch this, but it came again this morning. And I said, okay, I have to share this with you guys. So a police officer arrests a male student at an American university campus after he throws a fit for having been misgendered by the cops. Hickox says TDS is strong. Intergalactic Wrangler says brainwashed and hoodwinked. Look, I am so saddened for these people, but let's just enjoy this video, guys. Let me know what you think of this, because like I said, Sonny Hostin's son, Gabriel, behaved properly. He behaved right, okay? He went to Harvard. Like, to be honest, he checks all the boxes that made me expect him to be the one screaming, "Do you know who I am? Do you know who my mom is? You guys are being racist." He checked all those boxes, but he didn't do that. So good on him, okay? But here's someone else. He's on an American university campus, and here's his spectacular way of responding to law enforcement.
What's the problem?
Why do you let those kids get away with this? They are not supposed to be here!
If you don't lower your voice, I am going to put handcuffs on you and I'm going to take you to a Baker Act facility. You lower your voice.
Fucking try it.
Whoa!
Are you threatening me?
You're threatening him.
Are you threatening me?
I'm just...
Because I'm here right now to deal with a stolen vehicle. I ain't got time to hear you screaming and yelling.
I don't have time to constantly be abused.
We'll get OPD down here then, because I gotta work this stolen vehicle.
What do you mean OPD?
Alpha 73 University.
Alpha 73.
Can we get another unit to deal with Jay Lee here? He is having a breakdown.
Say! Just say the right pronoun!
What'd you say?
Get
down on the ground right now.
No!
You're about to get sprayed.
No,
get down on the ground right now.
Leave me alone!
I can come in there.
Leave me alone, please!
Okay, are you gonna calm down?
I'm getting my phone out. I have to film this.
I'm telling you.
What?
You're gonna calm down.
I will calm down. I will calm down.
You know what this is?
I will calm down when you get the pepper spray out of my face.
Oh my God.
Leave me alone.
I have
just please
pepper spray
please
at this individual
just
right
stop
now.
pointing the pepper spray at me. I will calm down if you do that.
Oh my
Stop
goodness.
spraying me.
Yeah, lower your voice.
Leave me alone. Leave me alone.
Do you want to get tased?
I want you to leave me alone. You have been particularly abusing me.
If you come,
if
you come towards me one more time,
follow me.
You are gonna.
And send abuse administrators.
I gotta
Don't you remember? Don't you remember?
Jaylee,
he's
focus on me, okay?
Okay? Get away!
You don't tell me where to go.
Fuck you!
Okay.
Fuck you, cop!
Alpha 73.
the guy.
No, it's too late.
The guy who was trying to de-escalate the situation said, "Okay, I'm out."
It's too late now. He's gonna be taken away.
Jaylee, you need to stop.
Oh man.
I just want to get away from him.
I understand that.
He needs
Oh man.
Stop misgendering me! Just say she!
Oh my goodness.
Josh, can you please just tell them to use the right pronouns? Please!
The right.
You know it's causing me a lot of distress.
What?
I need you to bring it down here, though, okay?
Okay, so I'm gonna ask you very nicely.
You know, guys, no matter how many times I see these crash outs by people who want to be gendered a different way than they were born, like it's always jarring to watch. And I know that there are people out there who say, but these are people with real mental health issues. You have to think about them and treat them with compassion. Yeah, the compassionate thing to do is to get them the help they need, not the help they want. The help they need is what Hickox essentially mentioned. He says, hands for bringing back the insane asylum. So if you're watching and you're in support of bringing back insane asylums, put your hands up. Just let's know, put the emojis up there because it's crazy. Here comes the gloves.
Put your stuff down, turn around, put your hands behind your
man.
back.
Riley Rivera. Not going to be arrested.
Put your stuff down.
No.
Put your hands behind your back.
No.
Okay, so I'm only going to ask you one more time. You can record all you want, but it's already beyond that point. We already tried.
You're stressing me out.
It doesn't matter.
I'm just asking you to please stop stressing.
We already tried to help you. So.
No, you didn't.
Yes.
You came in with hostile intent.
Put your hands.
Okay, there we go.
Get on the ground right now.
Don't
hurt
me.
Get on the ground right now.
Don't hurt me.
Get down on the ground right now.
Hey.
Resisting.
I got a couple on this.
I got a come on this way. Stop. Get down. Get down.
What? He knocked off the body cam?
Help me.
Jeez.
Get down.
Get down.
Get him down.
Let go. Put your hand behind your back. Put your hand behind your back.
I can't.
You're right. He's strong for a woman.
Come on, stop.
Jeez.
Please. Josh, please. This is all a big misunderstanding. No, please don't say him. Her.
Okay, her. I'm gonna spray her.
Thank you.
Put your hand behind your back.
So
I don't want to spray.
So his problem is just while you're spraying me, use the right genders. Sorry, use the right pronoun while you're spraying me. Jeez.
One.
Give me your hand.
One resisting. And you get one.
Can I? Is there any way I can?
No, give me your hand.
Please.
Give me your hand.
Oh, it's about to be tased.
Just give me some space.
See what's gonna happen?
Look.
Put your hand behind your back.
Look.
Put your hand behind your back. Put your hand behind your back.
Do you know what? I don't think things like that or warnings like that affect people like him. I don't think so. He was warned. He was told to comply. Showing him a taser isn't going to make him change his behavior. That's my take. Let's see if I'm wrong.
Give me your hand.
I just need space,
Your
please.
hand.
Put your hand.
Jalen, give me your hand.
Okay, I'm gonna tase you.
Like, yeah, they're being too nice, but they have to be. Look, Deuce, they have to be nice, okay, because of the world we live in today, okay? The cops have been accused of police brutality, so they have body counts, but they also have to be nice. They really do. Else, a lawyer could look at this and say, oh, her! Oh, sorry, her! She might reach through the screen and begin to throttle me, you know? So if this goes to court, all right, the police could be sued if they don't behave in a certain way that is appropriate. I have to admit, I watched this one 2 times already. Oh, jeez. You did.
Jalen, it's going to hurt, man. Just give me your hand. He's not going to tase you. Just give me your hand.
You're going to arrest me.
No.
Give me your hand.
Yes, we need your hand.
I don't arrest me.
Oh, shoot.
Ow. Go. Give me your hand.
Gonna get it again this time.
Jeez.
Give me your hand. Give me your hand.
Leave me alone.
Give me your hand.
Alone.
Man, this is...
Give me your hand.
I
I got his leg. I got his leg.
Give me your hand. All right, give me your hand. Let go. Put your wrist.
Relax him, okay? There you go. We got him.
And we got charges.
But that was rough to watch.
Oh, they were attacking me. What was I supposed to do?
Okay.
Comply.
That's what you're
Hang on
supposed
a wrist,
to do.
pattern on a wheel.
Watch your head. Roll over. Now get up.
Josh, please.
On your knee.
I'm trying.
Now stand up.
I can't
I have my phone.
Sure, I don't know where it is.
Ow, I can't get up.
You said you did taser, right?
Yes.
All right, I'm a
Yeah.
Still. Oh boy. The fake girly voice is hilarious. Oh my goodness.
Sit down. We're gonna have the fire department take a look at you.
Josh gave you a shot.
You're good? Let's just take it to the car. You're gonna be all right. Put him in my patrol car. Okay. I'll take it.
Man.
Wait.
You're gonna be all right.
Come on.
Oh,
Thanks, Josh.
Can I have my phone back?
We'll get your belongings, all right?
I hate you all. I hate you. You escalated this.
Huh?
You didn't have to pull out the pepper spray. You didn't have to continue to scare me.
Do you want more units downtown?
You knew my buttons and you set them off.
I live out shortly, but I think we were okay for now.
Please step.
What? Okay.
Do not push me.
Yeah, so that was rough to watch. It's really, gardening is sad because like we see these things, and I'll be honest with you, okay, I watch people on the right reacting to situations like this, and it's like, what are you doing? Like, that's the reaction for a lot of people on the right. What are you doing? But on the left, it's like, you guys are evil. You guys need to be incarcerated. You guys need to be killed. There's a different reaction coming from both sides. And it tells us that there's a real problem with a delusion that has taken over the left. And anyone who wants to pander to the left, they have to pander to this. They have to they have to acknowledge and promote this kind of behavior. Hickok says, I've watched this several times, but the left is another breed. There's a political debate where a trans is running, and I swear he looks like an ogre playing. No, I saw that. That was Maine. That was Maine. Hold on. I think I can pull that up. It is sad because you look at the here it is. All right. So we're just going to look at this because you're wondering if these people are self-aware at all.
But I did run, and then I'm a songwriter, and then I write my own books, and then I suppose my transparency, I wouldn't lie to the people, and I wouldn't deceive the people like we're being deceived right now. Like, we get lied to, smoke and mirrors, like what's going on with ICE, pretending like these victims did something wrong. Like, that's unacceptable. And I suppose the biggest thing is, like, I'm just an angry citizen now, and if I got elected, I'd be an angry senator, and I think that would probably be their worst nightmare.
David Costello.
So that is I'm not going to read that. Like, mocking them, yeah, but to be honest, like, if someone is unwell, physically, mocking them is bad taste. If someone is unwell mentally, it feels the same way. But the sad thing is we have laws right now on the books that gives these people more rights than you, who is a well-functioning, even balanced person. Okay? They want these people who can't function at the same level as other people optimally. They want to give them more rights than you. They want to give them more of a platform than you. So in the world that they were trying to create before Trump won his second term, this person would have more of a shot at getting elected. Hey, check out who Biden appointed as, was it there was something that they were appointed, the trans guy who was appointed to a role in the military. Okay, that was what they were doing. They were appointing people who were essentially mentally disturbed into high office. Intergalactic Wrangler says he should have worn heels with that dress. Yeah, he should have. But, heels are a killer. Heels are a killer. Deuce says Bill Clinton signed the immigration laws we have now. Then he was reelected shortly after. Of course. Yeah, that was the DOD. Yeah, I remember that. Like, it was like we stepped into a parallel dimension, guys. It was weird. It was a weird 4 years. It was weird. All right, so I want to quickly cover the update I mentioned yesterday about the Trump release of the classified election intelligence documents. Now, we did watch that speech last week, and I'm going to try to keep this live stream under an hour. So if there's anything that comes up tonight, I have the bandwidth to, jump in and do a short stream on whatever develops tonight, because we're looking at the situation in Iran, and it's likely that we might have more reporting to do, but who knows? So Trump releases classified information, and essentially, for anyone who's listening, can hear that there are shocking vulnerabilities. He also announced that he was kept from receiving the briefings on the threats from China and other players in the world who wanted to undermine the elections. So that already was a problem in and of itself. Anyone who hears that should actually say to themselves, hey, we do have a problem. We need to talk about this problem, but not CNN. This was the video that I was talking to you guys about yesterday. CNN freaks out over Trump's address, believes he may issue national emergency over elections. This is why CNN refused to air President Donald Trump's address to the American people, so they could lie about what the president said and falsely reassure people that elections are just fine. Now, I don't know about you, but this guy over here is he's a cross between the KFC Colonel Sanders picture and the mustache twirling villain. Okay, he's a cross between the two. And he has some of the most unhinged things said in this interview. So we're just going to watch, but there's a clip that CNN plays during this interview that is reminiscent of the Very Fine People edit, the January 6th Trump speech edit by BBC. It's reminiscent of that because they try to make a video say something that the person in the video may not have been trying to say. But let's have a listen.
Bizarre, in fact, that China, is perceived to have, tried to help him or tried to help others steal the 2020 election. But there's no mention of what they did in 2024. I mean, if they were so successful in 2020, where were they when he won?
Because it was too big to rig. In 2020, people couldn't come out to vote. Most of the votes were made, or all the votes were made by mail-in ballots. That was why it was possible in 2020. All right? So when they say these things, and just look at their eyes. They know they're lying. They know they're saying a bunch of horse shit, but they'll say it anyway because the listeners who watch these networks don't want to think. They don't want to think beyond what they've been told by the networks.
He doesn't have any disputes about elections that he won. And I know for a fact that in 2018, the president was informed and briefed on Chinese activity with regard to the 2016 election and their interest in the 2020 election, and the 2021 intelligence report post-election that's statutorily required was delivered in March of 2021
to Biden, not to Trump. To Biden. And he says he knows for a fact. Did he read the briefings that were declassified? No. They didn't even watch the address.
and makes plain that no foreign actor took any action that was consequential in any way with regard to a single vote.
Yeah, which I mean that's the bottom line. And then there's the point which you're raising, and I have seen, which is it is sort of odd to sort of imagine that that when Biden was president he couldn't rig it when he was. Anyway, it just the whole thing kind of just defies belief. David, the man leading Trump's task force on declassifying documents on elections and other issues is a man named John Solomon.
Now, watch this video, and you guys, let me know what you think about the way CNN presents this clip that's coming up.
And today there was a really interesting exchange. He essentially admitted to a reporter right after the speech that none of it adds up. Okay, let me just play it.
I only know the intelligence community has zero evidence that someone has flipped that a foreign power flipped a vote in 2020, 22, or 24.
So they took a clip of something he said, maybe during a 5-minute interview, and they said this is what he said. All right. And this is why people on social media say you don't hate the media enough. You don't hate these guys enough. They didn't play the context of what he said. They just took that bit and then said, hey, here you go. That's what he said. Intergalactic Wrangler, taking shit out of context as always. Deuce says, not one Democrat can explain why Joe Biden got 81 million votes and Kamala only got 75 million. The votes go up for both parties every election. Exactly. Hey, Deuce, do you know what they call that? They call that a conspiracy theory. They call you a conspiracy theorist for pointing out the facts.
All right, David, so I just have to say, he's the one who supposedly led the task force that led to the speech last night. And he came out and point blank says that the intelligence community has zero evidence that a foreign power flipped a vote in 2020, 22, or 24.
This is the same network that brought you the Very Fine People hoax, that brought you the January 6th hoax, that brought you all the hoaxes that they continue to push. They brought you the Joe Rogan is taking a horse dewormer hoax when they tried to smear Joe Rogan. This is the same network. And they expect you and I to continue to give them the benefit of the doubt, especially when they are blatantly partisan on this issue. A sitting president gave an address and they refused to air the address. All right, I don't know if I should play the rest of this, but okay, guys, I'm going to play the rest of this and shut up. You guys let me know your thoughts in the chat about the rest of whatever it is they say. I'm not going to do any commentary. I'm just going to play this and watch it alongside with you guys. You guys let me know what you think.
Which is, of course, what the declassified report concluded, right? But he's saying, I've seen the classified, and it's the same conclusion. What does this do to Trump's standing? When he goes and gives a primetime address to the nation, and the guy who was in charge of basically doing all the backup says it's bogus.
Yeah, well, that is a rational analysis, but I think that people are accustomed to this with the president. My mind goes back. Everybody's saying, well, he didn't object when he won in 2016. The weird thing is he did. He was upset because he lost a popular vote by, I think, 3 million, right. And he impaneled a task force, including led by the vice president, to find out where the fraud was that led to this mistake, and they worked on this for a year and then had to disband because they couldn't find any fraud. I mean, this is a running story with him. But my concern.
I'm sorry. I need to fact check this. I need to fact check this because this is a huge. For me, it's huge. Tony, good to see you in the chat. Did Trump put together investigate why he lost the popular vote? The 2016 election. I want to confirm this accusation because let's see. I'm just curious, guys. Okay, I'm just curious. So, in May, issued executive order creating the Presidential Advisory Committee on Election Integrity, also known as BLA, chaired it with Kansas. The commission was formed in response to Trump's claims of widespread voter fraud in 2016 elections, specifically that millions of illegal votes, often cited as 3 to 5 million, cost him the national popular vote, even though he won the Electoral College. It aimed to study voter registration processes, voting systems, and potential fraud or vulnerabilities in federal elections. So that was the purpose. It aimed to do that because there was something clearly wrong in the numbers. Now, guys, I don't see anything wrong with a sitting president. I'm going to share this with you guys. Where's that? I'm going to share this with you guys. I always give you guys these fact checks to play around with. So you guys, in your spare time, don't leave the chat, okay? In your spare time, you can click the link and interrogate it some more yourself, because I find it weird. Okay, I find it weird that these things happened, and I'll be honest with you, I wasn't paying attention. I wasn't paying attention at all. Hold on, let me see where we stopped. I wasn't paying attention. So whenever they say things like this, I like to, my curiosity gets the better of me, and I want to know exactly, if they're telling the truth. I'm sorry, I promised that I would let it play through, but I had to stop it.
Led to the speech last night, and he came out and point blank says.
So I'm going to skip forward a little. Sorry.
Is, of course, what the declassified report concluded, right? But he's saying, I've seen the classified, and it's the same conclusion. What does this do to Trump's standing when he goes and gives a primetime address?
I'm going to skip forward some more. I need to
national analysis, but I think that people are accustomed to this with the president. My mind goes back. Everybody's saying, well, he didn't object when he won in 2016. The weird thing is he did. He was upset because he lost a popular vote by, I think, 3 million. Right. And he impaneled a task force, including led by the vice president, to find out where the fraud was that led to this mistake. And they worked on this for a year and then had to disband because they couldn't find any fraud. I mean, this is a running story with him. But my concern, Aaron, isn't, yes, I agree with Ty's analysis of what motivates the president to reject any kind of negative verdict from voters. But, the concern I have is what this signals for the next 4 months. And I feel it's going to be a pretty bumpy ride. And you could hear Secretary Mullen, suggesting that he's going to bully state officials. I really think the president's creating a pretext, either for intervention on the part of the government, calling an emergency and intervening in these elections in ways that could be really pernicious, or in alibying for a loss if the Republicans lose in November. But I'm afraid it's the first. One adjective nobody's ever used about Donald Trump is subtle. Okay, he's been signaling this for months now. He's been upping his rhetoric about rigged elections. He talked about it in California. Now we have this ridiculous speech last night. So he's doing this for a reason.
All right, so guys, did you think that the president's speech was ridiculous when you watched it? All right. They want you to believe that it was ridiculous, that the president didn't have any legs to stand on when videos like this exist, okay? CNN says that there's no fraud, that you should trust them, that Trump is lying. However, the same network insisted that they had everything right in 2020. Now, here's a video that surfaced, and this is of an election vote counting center in Detroit.
It's clear that both sides were going to complain about the entire process. What did you make of what happened? What are you hearing from TCF Center yesterday, where poll watchers, many of them Republicans who said, look, this was aimed at us, said we were not allowed to look in, and they even put paper over the windows to keep us from looking in at the ballots to double check them as we're allowed to do. What did you make?
So this was happening in 2020 in Detroit.
Think of all that.
Yeah, well, the paper over the windows was because the windows were being broken by those who were outside, and so it was really just protective measures that the Detroit police
they claim the windows were being broken, but do these windows look broken?
We're implementing. The other piece of it is, I think, I've said this quite clearly throughout, we welcome transparency. I think that's so important, observation on the process, and that's why we had really a record number of poll watchers and challengers throughout the state, including in the absentee counting boards. But it does cross the line when people get disruptive or try to interfere or stop the count.
People kept off the TCF floor. Secretary Benson questioning if this was staged to disrupt the process.
I'll just say if they thought they were going to intimidate or stop anyone from doing their job inside the TCF Center, then they don't know Detroit.
So
we welcome transparency. I think that's so important, observation on the process, and that's why we had really a record number of poll.
So the president had reports like this flowing in from all over the country in 2020. And he opens his mouth to say this was corrupt as hell. CNN says the president is lying. The videos show us that they were lying. The radio interview says, hey, they were breaking the windows. Do these windows look broken? Deuce says we aren't losing in November. Democrats are toast. Deuce, I want to see a victory in November. I want to see a victory in November. But do you know what? We need to get more people to pay attention. We need to get more people out there to vote. That's the whole point of what I'm doing right now, okay? And I have to be very careful how I say this, okay? I want to encourage more people on the right to get involved in politics, not just in the United States, but all over the world. I want to get more people more interested in voting at all levels. And simply saying, hey, look at the left, they're crazy. They don't know what they're doing. They're insane. Look at their voters. They don't even know the policies that they're voting for. They believe everything they see, on mainstream media. They are not fit to choose the next leaders for the country. They don't know where they're going, and they're going to drive us all into a ditch. We know that. But the only way we can essentially establish common sense in the world is by using the process and by voting and by being very vocal. Now, I love the fact that most of us right now are taking to the chat. Okay, it's taken us months to get to this point where the chat actually talks. At one point, I was wondering, when am I going to have people bold enough to have conversations in the chat? Now we're doing it. Okay, now, if you're watching, I see people are coming and leaving. It's middle of the day for a bunch of people. Guys, if you found our channel for the first time, please consider subscribing and hitting the like button, okay? It helps YouTube send the signals out to more people. 2, while we're chatting, the best you can do if you don't want to get involved in the conversation is to give a thumbs up or thumbs down to any comment that you see. That's the best you can do. It helps the signals go to YouTube to say, hey, don't send people like me here, or hey, send people like me here. That's exactly what it does, okay? So help us out by getting involved in the conversation. This is your one step to becoming more active in the conversation around where November goes. That's what I believe. Once you get more active, all it takes is one click, just one click. Okay, and then you might type 2 words and then 10 words. But it's all about being part of the conversation. We're trying to be fair. We're trying to be honest. We're trying to look at the world through fresh eyes. And we do have a lot of history behind us. This was 2020. And this was how the election was stolen in 2020. We're being told by these clowns that we believe a conspiracy theory that President Trump is lying and that his speech was useless. But all of us knew what happened in 2020 was wrong. And we've been watching the body cam videos. We haven't watched body cam videos for several episodes now, but we're going to get back to it soon. We looked at the January 6th protest and how it was essentially derailed by, I would say, by a lot of plants. There were plants in there that derailed the protest. And we acknowledge that January 6th, the way it went, was a bad idea. But conversations like this have to happen. So I believe, yes, we're not losing in November if the same energy that put Trump back in the White House is used for every election, not just presidential elections. Every election. City council, school board, everything. Local judges, sheriffs, everyone has to be out there voting from now on. Intergalactic Wrangler says, CNN is so thick with propaganda. True. Deuce says, look at these weirdos working our elections. Like, look at this guy. Okay? Look at this guy. Like, this is someone who's supposed to be an impartial person counting the votes, and he's taunting the GOP or the Republican representatives outside who are meant to be watching the process. He's taunting them, sticking his tongue out to them. You know, Intergalactic Wrangler says, someone who tells the truth all the time is easy to tell a lie. For those who lie. Oh, sorry. I think what you're trying to say is, for someone who tells the truth all the time, it's not easy to tell a lie. I think. For those who, I'm going to read it as is, okay? For those, I'm going to read your comment exactly the way you typed it. So if you want to correct it, you can correct it. Someone who tells the truth all the time is easy to tell a lie. For those who lie all the time are never believed, even when telling the truth. Crying wolf never had a good outcome. Okay, I guess what you're trying to say is CNN has lied so much, it's impossible to believe them when they talk. Hickok says, in California, they have made it illegal to challenge a vote. And in Georgia, they moved the ballots into the bunker where you need credentials to access. Anyway, I want to appreciate you guys for engaging in the chat. I promise that I'll keep the live streams at under an hour. We're already 3 minutes over. I was reading through the chats. But let's see. When we come back tomorrow, we're going to cover a few other stories. I have other stories lined up, but we're not going to be able to get to them right now. So, guys, thank you so much for being part of the chat. If you're watching and you're not subscribed, please consider subscribing, like the video, share the video. We're going to be back tomorrow at 10 a.m. Eastern. We go live every Monday to Friday at 10 a.m. Eastern, and on Sundays at 9 p.m. Eastern. So we had a show last night. It was fun with the body cam video we watched. We all had a lot to say about that. So we hope that you be back again tomorrow. If something pops off in the Middle East tonight, it's possible that we might go live again. Now, if you want to connect with us, all right, please consider sending an email to crossroadsirl@gmail.com. We also have a Discord server. All right, the Discord server, it's possible that we're going to be using that for our call-in feature. I spoke yesterday about having some of you on the show as guests, commenters, so that while the show is going on, you guys are part of the conversation and we can literally talk. I mean, chatting is great, but having conversations, voice give and take is usually more exciting. So I'm looking at setting up the Discord to do that for us. So if you would consider joining us in the Discord, the link is in the description of this video. If you want to connect with me to maybe give some ideas, so videos we can cover during the next live stream, send them to the email address. And then if you're interested in joining up and being a part of the online panel through the Discord call-in feature, okay, join the Discord. Once we open that up, I'm hoping that I'm talking with a few of you right now. Hopefully, some of you will be part of the conversation. Tony likes to be part of those conversations, but he lives all the way in Australia. I hope he can join one of those panels when we kick off. And then I'm speaking with Hickox as well. We're going to be kicking this off very soon, depending on how quickly we can make the arrangements. I need to talk to a bunch of you who want to be part of it, and I need to wrap that conversation up so we have a picture of what we're doing, where we're going, and so on. So, guys, thank you so much for being a part of it. It's encouraging to have you guys chat and let's know and be part of the conversation. I'm encouraged. Thank you so much. It helps me put in more work and more effort into the show. Thank you all so much for being here. And we're going to be back again tomorrow, same time, unless there's something that pops off in the Middle East, like I said earlier. Until the next time, God bless you, and I'll catch you on the next